What up, gang? We are live, and today we are talking about reps in reserve. Okay, how hard do you actually need to push your sets in order to build muscle? And if you don't know me, my name is Coach Samantha. I help busy professional women lose body fat and build muscle. We do this without any of the BS. We do this to make sure you can actually get the results that are sustainable rather than doing things that are going to be potentially toxic and not getting to see results for the long term. So welcome everybody to this call. Today we're talking about what it actually means to be building muscle. And let me just say hello to everybody here. Wallace, what's up? Linda, what's up? Spencer, what's up? Cinderella, I imagine that is not your actual name, but if it is, that's dope. Welcome. Albert Teese. Welcome. So I am actually going to put some videos up on my screen and show you a little bit about what we are talking about here. What's up, Allison? Welcome to the call. So I am going to share with you a few different videos, and we're just going to kind of go through, figure out what it is to actually hit the correct reps in reserve. And when we're talking about reps in reserve, what we're really talking about is making sure that we are training with the correct intensity. Can you still hear me? Okay. So this is a video that I actually took yesterday of me training on the leg press. And so what I want you to pay attention to here is, at what point are we actually stopping the set? So typically we want to aim, I was aiming 8 to 10 reps here. So that's 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps happening here. Notice a slow and controlled tempo on the way down. We're not just letting the weight fall, we are controlling it. Hello, Joe. This is going to be our 5th rep, and look at how we're starting to slow down. This is telling us, okay, we're starting to work hard. We're starting to get to a point where we're maybe 4-ish reps away from failing. Here, we are pushing. Look at how slow that moved, and yet we still got it up, so we knew we had to do another one. This set was to failure. Look, this is where most people will stop because it's uncomfortable and it's moving really slow, and you really have to dig deep to push. And notice here, I pushed, and this did not move. But I knew if I took a little bit of a break, I would be able to get a little bit more reps in. And this is something I love to do with my clients when we have limited time to work with. If we have 30 minutes to do a set or do a workout, we can get a lot of work done and still progressively overload by utilizing something called cluster sets. And so a cluster set is what I'm actually doing here. I did I don't know if I did 8 to 10, somewhere in there. And I'm gonna take 15 seconds of rest before I go again, so I can let the glucose in my body replenish into my legs so I have a little bit more energy to push from. And lo and behold, once we pushed, we knew there was more in the tank. And that's what I said there. There's always more in the tank. So let's see how many we can get at this cluster set. There we go. We got another one. Pushing. Ugh, can we get it? No, we failed out. This told me, okay, it's done. The set is over. And if I wanted to do another cluster, I only got 3 reps there. So I would wait maybe another 15 to 30 seconds and then see when I could potentially get another rep in. So that's one example of RIR. And here's a comparison. This is actually a client video, and I want you to see this is what most people will do. Most people will start their sets, and notice there is a little bit of tempo coming down as instructed, yes, but keep in mind as she's pushing up each rep, there's really not a lot of that slowing down. There's not a lot of that form is starting to fall apart. We're really digging deep to push. We're really kind of seeing the same tempo, and we're seeing the exact same type of rep throughout the entire set. This is not going to grow muscle. In a beginner, yes, you will probably see gains here, but this is not a set that is going to allow you to really push close to failure in order to see muscle growth, especially if we have been training for a long time. And notice that's the end of the set, and we still had a lot of energy left, right? Whoop, flipping it up. We're not dead. We don't feel like we're going to walk out of here absolutely dead. So that is another really good example of what RIR can look like. And so here's an example of me doing lat pull downs. And this was really an instructional video, but you can see here, this is where I see a lot of form videos from my clients when we first start together, because we are pulling, form is looking good, we're maybe struggling, we're starting to feel the burn a little bit here, but we're not actually seeing a ton of, pulling really hard at the end. And give me a second to find the other video here. RIR, where's this album on my phone? Hold up. Okay, here we go. Here's the example of a set of lat pull downs where I actually did get close to failure. And so we are going to sit here and we are going to watch the entire set, mostly because I have no control over not doing that. So here we go. Also, pro tip, for your lat pull downs, I love using wrist straps because I find my grip is failing before my back is failing. So you can see here the difference in intensity already. There's a little bit of that tempo at the bottom. Now I'll say here, this form is not my favorite. It's not the best. There's a little too much arch, but let's not pay attention to that. Let's pay attention to the intensity here. Okay. So as we are pulling, notice how we're slowing down. We're really starting to struggle to pull. We're really, really fighting in order to get these reps down. Pull it all the way down, girl. And slow to release. We're not just letting it go. Pull. Do we think we had more in the tank? I knew we had more in the tank. Do we have more in the tank after this one? We're pulling, and we're barely able to get it down. That is what I would consider to be 1 to 2 reps away from failure. And here's me pulling down. Are we able to get it down? Ooh. That I would consider to be 1 rep away from failure. If we weren't able to get it all the way down to the chin, then I would consider that set a failed set. But because we did not fail to bring it below the chin, this is what I would consider to be complete and total 1 away from failure, not complete and total failure. Does that make sense for everybody? One more I'd like to show you. I think I lied. I think we won't show you anymore. I think let's go ahead and turn to questions and let's talk through, are we, I need to make a different graphic so you guys can actually see what's going on. So reps in reserve. Why is this important? This is important because in order to build muscle, especially if you're someone who's been lifting for 10 years, even 3 years, your body is going to need new stimulus or else it's not going to be able to build muscle. We build muscle by essentially tearing those muscle fibers up, and once we recover, then we're able to rebuild, and that's how the muscles get bigger. I want you to kind of think about it as if you were going to try to run a marathon. Would you run only 1 mile to train for a marathon? Probably not. Why? Because you need to tell your body, hey, we need better conditioning so that we can run like 28 of these, not just 1. Because your body is an extremely efficient machine. It will not do any more work than it is required to do, and it likes comfort. It likes homeostasis. It likes the status quo. So if you wanted to run a marathon, you would train at least several miles. Maybe you wouldn't run the entire marathon. I've never ran one before, so whatever. But essentially, if you really wanted to do a marathon, you need to be able to run several miles, and you'll never know if you can until you do it. So Allison asks, how often should I be trying to do RIR? Is it every time I work out, every set? That's a really great question, Allison. Yes. RIR refers to how many reps you have left in every single set. So you will use this on every set that you ever do, literally ever. Even if you don't know it, you're still using it. And so here's how I apply this with my clients. For the most part, I say to stay away 1 to 2 reps from failure for the first 2 sets, and on the last set, we're going completely to failure. Because most of the time, if we go to failure on every single set for every exercise, we're not going to be able to, number one, it's going to be much more difficult to recover. Number 2, we're posing risk of injury. And number 3, we probably don't have the energy needed to do as much work as we probably should be in order to grow the muscle in the next few sets. For example, if you go to complete and total failure on your squats on your very first set, it's probably going to take you a little bit more than 2 minutes to recover in order to be able to do 8 more reps to complete and total failure. Now, if this was you training for strength, we would be taking a longer period of rest, but because we're focused on hypertrophy, somewhere between that 8 to 12 reps, it's going to be very important to make sure that you are utilizing this appropriately. And so what I would recommend, stay 1 to 2 reps away from failure, and then on your last set, go to failure. Every single exercise that you do. I have a cycle that I use with my clients because of the fatigue that sometimes this can propose. So sometimes we will do, like, if we're doing 3 sets of an exercise, which typically we are, we're going to do the first set, stay 2 away, the second set, stay 1 away, the last set, go to failure. And we'll do it week by week. So the first week, maybe we're staying 2 sets from failure every single time. So yeah, Allison, you should definitely try this. This is definitely going to be the thing that actually helps you build muscle. And it's really important because if you're not working hard enough, you're just not going to see the results that you want to see. So I will does anybody have any questions on these? I'll give like maybe 30 seconds or so for you to type a question. But if you are just now joining, what's up, Love Lisette? Welcome to the conversation. We're talking about reps in reserve. How many reps should you really be doing, and how hard should they be in order for you to truly build muscle, especially when you're in a calorie deficit? Nutrition is also going to be very important, but honestly, that's an entire different conversation for an entirely different day. So I hope that this was helpful. I will be posting this onto my page. And again, if you don't know me, my name is Coach Samantha, and I help busy professional women build muscle, burn fat, and do so sustainably without all of the BS and toxicity of online stuff. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.